Thank you, Flora. That was beautiful. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it short and simple. When Flo contacted me, well, for the last two online Starseed conferences, I was present. And then when he contacted me about this one to have it online again, I was like, I'm feeling something different. I'm feeling maybe we can co-create something that is both online and in person. And that's literally how this was born. And then we were like, okay, but where do we do it? Are we filling out the grid? And then I had just done an event with Karen in LA. So I said, well, this is a perfect third person to bring on. And so, yeah, this is how this collaboration happened. It's been a lot of hard work, meeting every week, as if any of you have organized events before, you know how much thought and love goes into it. So I'm just very grateful that all of you are here. This is a beautiful turnout. It's going to be incredible. We have so many downloads that have already started coming through and will keep on coming through. So thank you, Flo. And yeah, I'm going to pass it on to Karen for some logistics. And yeah, welcome everyone.
So the first question is, all these people are here, all these star seeds. How do they connect with their star family? How do they connect with other, and I'll say benevolent, interdimensional beings? Althea, I'm going to start with you.
You have to ask. If you don't ask, there is something that is called the law of non-intervention, which means that your guides can't come in and help and assist you unless you ask them, because it would mean that they're going against your free will. So on a practical level, how do you do that? You ground yourself, you stay present, you stay in the moment. Only if you are present and grounded in the moment, you are able to see the messages that are being sent to you, the timeline that is for your highest alignment. That can come through the animals, nature. They can come through numbers, synchronistic events. So it's really a matter of having the conscious understanding and knowledge that you also have all the answers within you. So your reality will reflect what's going on within your system. And as a consequence, when you're in that open space, when you're in that grounded space, when you're in that heart-centered, unconditional love space, you are more open to receive and you're more able to see because you're grounded and present in the moment. So things that can ground you in the now is anything that's creative, anything that brings out your inner child, any passion that you have, any joy, anything that helps you to connect with others and with yourself. So my advice is to connect to the guides, call on them, ask them, and say to them, okay, like today I'm going to be working with the element of fire. Please, can you come through the element of fire? And my advice also is, guys, have specific questions for them, because if you leave it very open and you leave it very vague, it's very difficult. If you are more precise, intentional with your question, with the information that you want to receive, it's going to be easier for them to come through to you as well. And also, again, always being mindful of the law of non-intervention, which means if you ask your guides, hey, should I take this job or that job? They're not going to answer, because that's going to go against your own free will. So it's really a matter of fine-tuning yourself, your channel, and your understanding of your way of being able to connect with them. So yeah, I hope this answers the question.
Thank you. Yeah, when we heard Debbie Solaris's talk earlier, when she was going through the star seeds, you heard her often say, well, this star seed has this particular gift or these abilities, some of their weaknesses, some of their strengths, but I want to key in on the abilities. So here we come with this, forget about 23andMe, right? Like galactic Akashic lineage is, to me, where it's at. Really understanding that. So if we have, I'll take myself, for example, started as Elohim, went to Antares and the Scorpio Stargate, Lyra, Andromeda, and then so forth. So from each of those, like yummy, there's a bunch of abilities. Same for each of you in this room. How can we activate those abilities? Like, we have a lot of earthly stuff we're also working through, but what if we want to like really step in? Like, I want to be that psychic. I want to be that singer. I want to be that massive upgrade to who we are? Can we, and how?
Yeah, and I just want to add boundaries also. You know, boundaries are so important because when, like Natalie explained, you hold and you have that container and you are accessing that space of, you know, objective observation, non-attachment, compassionate non-attachment, then it comes down to, okay, so what is the form of self-love? Boundaries are very, like, the highest form of self-love. So when your boundaries aren't in place, you have energetic leakages. So in that space, you're not able to hold the collective container and frequency that you would be able to hold if your boundaries were in place. So working with the boundaries, the self-love, the self-trust, and exactly also how Flo mentioned this, you then have access to these higher states of consciousness and this understanding that then comes into your soul fragment retrieval. What does that mean? It means that you start integrating parts of your dormant DNA, information, knowledge, memories from the Akash, even just this activation that Vivian did earlier with the DNA strands. Like, so many of you are probably going to start getting downloads, memories, things coming through in your dream space. And just by having the conscious awareness of that, you are integrating it within your system. And then, yeah, it's kind of like a fine tuning, you know, of all these different things, of all this, you know, this memory, this how you carry yourself, this releasing the judgment, this releasing the attachment, and this operating from the space of unconditional love, you know, non-judgment, and staying in your heart center, and having, you know, the awareness of the experience that you are navigating in order to be able to access the highest possible timeline and operate from that on a day-to-day basis.
How can we as starseeds prepare for and participate in the upcoming changes and transformations? We're living in pretty incredible times. I think everybody can feel the energy, everything that may be influencing your sleep, your health, the kind of energy we're barraged with in general in life. Life is very stimulating to be alive at this time in cities like we live in. And then we've got all the upgrading coming, right? Preparing us what we asked for, what we sign up for. But how can we best prepare for this? And what do we have to look forward to? What is next for us? And I love predictions if you have any. Altia, will you start?
Yeah, sure. So we actually had this conversation earlier this morning. This is the year that starseeds are going mainstream. Like, this is what's happening. There's an expansion. We, you know, in number 8, abundance, there's going to be more coming to the forefront. There's also, I mean, I know this is said every year, but a lot of karmic cycles coming to a close, clearing, releasing, letting go. I mean, I don't know if anyone's had in their own experience, but with me, when we access the new astrological year within April and May, that's when like it was like I felt like a quantum jump, like we all shifted into a high vibrational frequency timeline. So a lot of things had to be cleared very quickly. I do think that it's, you know, it's very ambitious to say something is like a prediction, just because there's so many timelines that are happening all at the same time. And, you know, you've got your individual timeline, you've got your collective timeline, you've got your planetary timeline, you've got your galactic timelines. So I personally, I mean, I am very, very happy and proud and grateful to be here on Earth at this moment in time, to see the ascension, the awakening process, to be part of, you know, something like this. And I think, you know, if we all carry on, we don't even have to do anything special, you know, just be in your truth, be in your heart, shine your light, lead by example. And just by doing that, we all going to start stepping into very high vibrational frequency timelines. And as a consequence, we're going to create a ripple effect. I mean, if you just look at something like light language, when I first started channeling back in 2017, there were maybe like 10 light language channelers online. Now there's tens of thousands. So yeah, for me, I just see this growing exponentially. I see a lot more in the mainstream media, the forefront, a lot more people stepping into their power, a lot of more people understanding their own power. And I see a very beautiful rise in the masculine as well. I think the masculine was a little bit slower in the past few years, but I think it's in the last like year and a half, it's been catching up really nicely with the feminine. So
Were there any star systems where beings were blind, as in without any
Yeah,
vision?
I can
That's
answer
good.
that. There's literally beings that exist on, a lot of different dimensional densities that they are blind in the sense they don't have eyes. There's beings that are literally just blobs of energy. That's how they operate. So, yeah, blind in the sense that they can't feel or what? I wouldn't say so, but blind in the sense they don't have eyes. Yes, there's a lot of beings that exist in different densities. And the best way I can describe it is like blobs of energies or kind of like six-dimensional density consciousnesses of souls. So a lot of souls have gotten together to become kind of like a bigger soul. Like an example would be Christ consciousness or the Ra collective.
Are the portals different? Portals that are different in other, well, I'm going to throw in dimensions, but planets, galaxies, universes. Anyone know that?
I can
Sure.
no one else is, yeah. So different universes have different universal laws. So as a consequence, I would presume that the portals would work differently, except for the ones that work beyond the concepts of space and time. Those, to my knowledge and understanding, would work in a way that is similar. So I don't think that there is like a conclusive answer to that, if it makes sense. Like that's what I know to my knowledge, just that different universes have different universal laws. So as a consequence, what would be applicable here isn't necessarily the same there. An example, practical, this would be a universe with people living backwards or upside down or gravity working in the opposite way. Yeah. So this could kind of like answer that maybe. You can all start by closing your eyes. And centering into the body. As you find your comfortable breathing rhythm.
Yeah.
With every inhale, you breathe in light. And with every exhale, you release all that doesn't serve you anymore.
Okay. Just making 360 turn. Gotcha.
Relaxing the body, the system, the energy field. We're going to open the space with 3 ohms. So we're taking a deep breath in. And oh. And again, deep breath in. Oh. And last one, deep breath in. Oh. Going to now call in protection. As we call on Michael to the south, Uriel to the north, Raphael to the east, and Gabriel to the west. We call on Archangel Metatron with a cloak of protection from above, and Salomon to seal the grid from below. As we call on our higher selves, our spirit guides, anyone else who wishes to be present for the greatest and highest good, you're welcome in the space. Please, guys, allow for whatever is needed for you to come through at this moment in time, to clear, to release. It's okay to make sounds, to shout, to cry, to scream. We are here to heal, to release, to clear, and to let go.
No. Good. Nice. Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Kanaya taratria teka karo tukuku kuku kraya 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 sia takera yeshera yataka tana yatarea treo mokakia.
As we open our systems, opening, ya tukuana ishia tara, trea kie ora ya sieta kana ya taka, raya trea trea ora ya shena ya na ya ta ya ter ota ya tia tikora ya tara, trea creo crea se ya tare. Letting go, 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 letting go. All that doesn't serve you.
Audio shot, whatever.
Na shi sara ya takiara takra ya tara tar akriya sia kre aisha ya nataka tiana resna ya taraya takaisha ya aya kiek koka kri krai ya taya nataka. Opening your heart, anchoring, cooling in, divine rays, anchoring, grounding systems, expanding. Siena taratrieta ka tato koi siena rena raya tia ishe saya tatara ishe taka raya kia ta kurukut kara istiania tia ya raya ya Naya tara ishe taka takia kukurra trea sia takia takra treo tokora ishe yanata ya tare Raya trea quieto kunaya sia sietu kuraya trea kiet kumara seya takaro ia ishetaka. Traya sekta kro atkre na narasia taka. Kra kiet ura kra isai sienata. Naya terakrita tri ate shipu. We move through emotions, we let go of any fear, any anger, any pain, any resentment, anything that we've been storing in our systems. We're clearing it, we're releasing it. As we remember the power of our ancestors, of our guides, of our higher versions of selves walking among us within us. We are the light, we bring the light. So we embody the light, we navigate in the light we are. Our presence is light, our presence is love. Our hearts are open as we operate and navigate from the heart center every single day, every action, every emotion. We stay present in the now, in the moment. As we expand from our hearts into unconditional love, unconditional presence. We anchor into the four elements. We anchor into Mother Gaia. We anchor into the element of air. Clearing our peripheral. We anchor into the element of fire, clearing our nervous system. We anchor into the element of water in our blood flow. In our veins, our arteries, clearing, releasing as we let go of any toxins, anything that doesn't serve us anymore. We clear, we release it, we anchor into the earth. As we come into the space of understanding of self, love for the self, gratitude for the self, gratitude for the human experience. That we come back into presence, into the now moment. As we keep our eyes closed, we place our hands on our heart centers, and we take a minute of silence just to ground, anchor into these codes, this activation, whatever came up for us to be released, to be observed. As we surrender and allow, we come into the conscious awareness and understanding that the codes are intelligent. They will go where they are most needed within our systems. And we'll be processing, clearing, and releasing for a few days, up to 3 weeks for full integration of everything. Be mindful and aware. Your body and system, you might feel more emotional. You might feel like you don't want to be around people. You might have things come up in your astral space. Just be in a space of compassionate non-attachment and love to yourself, for your body, for your system. And really come back to the now, come back to the heart, ground back, and breathe. And remember that whatever happens, you can always come back to the breath. The breath is your friend, the breath is your ally. Thank you. So that is